Good evening, all. Welcome to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. Some really sad news. Let's just quickly break the picture up. Condolences to the family of Davido and Chioma, the parents to the young boy Ifeanyi who died. It's terrible news. Terrible news. I'd seen it yesterday, but I didn't want to say anything on this until I knew what's going on, and I wanted to be sure and give the family some time, and we have to try and, this is a horrible news that we're hearing. But yeah, it is not the best of news. Which has been, I'm sure many people are aware of it, but it's worth discussing at least from, with clarity, because what has been, it's not something you wish on anybody. It's terrible. So, with that said, let's bring this here for you to see. So, there you have. Oh, sorry about that. There you have Davido. Something we're gonna come back again, I think. Right, okay. So there they are. 8 arrested over Davido's son's death. It's really tragic. That's them as a happy family, and the young boy is dead. 3 or something, I'm not quite sure. It must be devastating news. Yeah, terrible news. Let's listen to what it was said on channels earlier on about the 8 arrested. So obviously it seems as though both parents were not home when this happened. So let's listen to what channel says so far. This is by a report by Channels News.
To one of the stories making real headlines here in Nigeria and perhaps across the world. Police have been interrogating 8 domestic staff of Afrobeat star Davido over the death of his son, Ifeanyi, who drowned in the Banana Island home of him and his fiancée, Chioma, on Monday. Davido and Chioma Rowland, a popular chef and influencer, are yet to comment on their son's death. Police spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyin says one of the couple's domestic staff called the police at 10 in the evening on Monday. He says officers are reviewing the CCTV cameras to get additional information about the circumstances of his death and are in touch with the little boy's parents. Both were said to have traveled on Monday and left Ifeanyi, their son, with his minders. Meanwhile, celebrities worldwide have been commiserating with the couple and sending their thoughts and prayers. Well, joining me now is Channels Television's entertainment correspondent, Bidemi Dairo, who's been following pretty closely what's been going on. And you've been having conversations, with people who are close to Davido and probably Chioma herself. Really sad news coming today. For a lot of people, it was really shocking that this happened on Monday. But when did it become, real news for you? Because there was a lot of confusion at the beginning. What was real, what was not? When were you certain that this really happened?
Thank you very much, Amarachi. Of course, as a parent myself, it's quite painful to speak about the death of a 3-year-old, say less of how much Davido and Chioma might be feeling.
They're not showing the face of the presenter. I hope they will show it.
As a rumor initially, it was start of disbelief. People didn't want it to be true. People were hoping that it was some expensive joke and all of that. And of course, the people around him were not immediately available to answer to questions and all of that. But at some point, I got through to someone who didn't want to be named, and he confirmed to me that Davido was extremely devastated, and that it did happen. And eventually, later this morning, the police confirmed to us, and it became very clear that we had a tragedy in our hands.
So.
At this time, and as we're learning, they were not at home, when this happened. They left the child with a few of the domestic staff who were supposed to be minding him, the period of time that they were not at home. What are you hearing from those around them, about their state of mind at this moment, what they're probably feeling, and, the kinds of, thoughts running through their minds and the conversations they're having with those who are with them at this time?
So the first person I spoke to, the first thing he said to me is, Davido is dead. Davido is dead. And of course, I could imagine what he meant, because of course, David has shown over the years that he's a doting father to his kids. But he said in an interview also that Ifan is quite special, you know.
He is his only son, isn't
his
he?
only son, yeah.
Oh.
He said he's quite special, and he's been always posting pictures, and he just celebrated his third birthday with him,
Oh.
you know, so you could feel that closeness and with him. And he's over the years has had to deal with death within his circle and all of that. So it's easy for someone to pass it and say, oh, he will cope and all of that. But you know what they say about how small the coffins are, how much heavier they become. So this is really going to be very painful for him. And like the guy said, he's completely devastated.
Oh.
Yeah, completely devastated. I know you can relate with that. And the loss of a child, big or small, incomparable, you know, to any experience of any kind. Davido, we understand, also has a few engagements that, you know, he had already arranged for the rest of the year, probably the rest of the month as well. What do you think would happen? Would that be put on hold, you know, because of what has happened, which would be understandable, of course, of the fans, many of them who were also going through this with them?
So I think a few days ago he had posted a message on his Twitter handle and saying November is going to be a month of blessing. He has 3 gigs lined up, including one for the inauguration of his uncle as the new governor of Osun State. But people have different threshold and coping mechanism for pain and death, and I hope that he's able to cope with this. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if he had to cancel all of this.
Yeah, and you know, for the responses, the commiserations and condolences coming in, a number of celebrities as well have been commenting. I saw tweets from Owaje and you know, a few of them, and also
Ayomakun AY,
Yeah.
Steph London, the UK-based rapper. You know, people condolences have been coming in from
across
different
the
parts of the world.
world,
Yeah.
right? But here in Nigeria as well, interestingly, presidential candidates for the different political parties, I understand, have also expressed their condolences. A number of them have also put, you know, suspended, you know, some of their campaigns as well in honor of Davido. Let's talk about how much of an impact the young man himself had, you know, on the lives of people around the world. You know, what hope he represented, you know, for not just people in the industry, but also, you know, people everywhere.
All right, so there's this thing about Davido, and he always says, we rise by lifting others. So he has always been involved in different humanitarian activities. He's a happy person. He's always love to have people around him, you know, interact with a lot of people a lot. So it's not surprising to see a lot of people feel grief and share in his grief and feel his pain, because he has shared his happy moments with people, and he has shared in their own happy moments as well. He has been there for a lot of people when they needed help, when they needed shoulders, and when they needed people to pull them up. So he has shown a lot of humanity to a lot of his people, and to even sometimes strangers. So it's not sad to see people suspend their activities and mourn with him.
I know that people have also been recalling a similar incident which happened with also Nigerian music star D'banj back in 2018 at a swimming pool in his home. He lost his first son as well, and people have been recalling that and comparing, you know, what has happened side by side. We've heard some of the criticisms. We've also heard, you know, people just calling for people to be more sympathetic at this time. How fair is it really to be comparing, you know, both scenarios? You know, the grief of both parents. I know D'banj may have seemed like he's moved on, but that was his first son as well, his first child.
I see a lot of that on social media and in some reportages as well. But the first thing that came to my mind is D'banj will start reliving those moments again. The pain will start coming for him and his family again, and it's like picking old scab. And I think it's best if we just allow the grieving families to just grieve and allow people to move on and try to at least continue to live their life and leave the grief in the past.
Yeah, a really big story here. Police will be, of course, revealing what they find out, you know, from those domestic workers, you know, At this point, we really can't say much, can we?
No, we can't. We just wait to see what they. According to them, they are reviewing the CCTV footage, and they've questioned about 8 of the domestic staff. So we wait to see what their findings are.
I will be reaching out to you, of course, for the reactions. Thank you so much, Bidemi, for being here. I will turn now to.
So, of course, our condolences with the family, with Davido and Chioma on their young boy. Not 3, I'm not quite sure, maybe. It's a loss. You know, we all as parents, I'm a parent, and we all parents, you always say that our children would outlive us. And this must be a devastating blow to Davido. So our condolences from Citizen Ewa and Odudu Active Radio and all of us here. We, we do sympathize, and we hope that the Most High gives you the strength to endure and cope and get through this difficult time. And I'm sure that Ifeanyi will always be somebody that's in your mind, and it will never ever be forgotten. It's part of both Chioma and Davido, and we need to give them time and space to grieve and to get through this very, very difficult episode. Like they stated, 8 of the staff have been arrested, so we're not going to say, I don't think we should say anything at this point or speculate. Let's give them time. Let the reports, we can only just hope that the police and everything do a thorough job and really identify what happened, and hopefully that can be rectified. And maybe we can all learn lessons from it somehow. But for now, sincere condolences to Davido and Ifeoma and Chioma on Ifeanyi, the young, beautiful boy. I don't think there's much more else to add to this. Thank you for watching Citizen Ewa, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to us and help us grow the platform. We appreciate you. Click subscription button, click notification, give us a thumbs up, and help us grow the platform. Thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen Ewa, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye. Bye for now.